let's talk about Nvidia. Nvidia tries its best, and this is where the headline, "Why are you so shy, Nvidia? Why are you so shy?" comes from. They try their best not to talk about the RTX 3090 Ti. Don't even do it.
It's officially Ti, okay?
And confirmed the RTX 3050. So they unveiled their most powerful GPU ever at CES on Tuesday, but they talked about it for just 25 seconds out of their 48.5-minute presentation, which was enough for us to find out the following. It's got 40 shader teraflops, 78 ray tracing teraflops, 320 tensor teraflops, 24 gigs of GDDR6X memory at 21 gigabit per second, and then rumors further suggest 10,752 CUDA cores, 1560 megahertz base, 1860 megahertz boost clocks, and over 1 terabyte per second of memory bandwidth. That's right, they have cracked the terabyte per second memory bandwidth barrier, allegedly. It's asking for 450 watts via either a PCIe Gen 5 16-pin 12-volt connector or two 12-pin NVIDIA ones, and has an MSRP supposedly of $16.99 US dollars. The other thing that is not rumor, but that they officially confirmed, is that it is pronounced Thai. They are, in fact, incorrect. Yes, that's right. I said it. NVIDIA is not correct about the name of their own product because nobody ever pronounced, the periodic element titanium Ti. Nobody ever did that. It is short for titanium, and nobody shortens titanium to Ti.
Ti also just sounds way cooler.
It does.
3080 Ti sounds lame, weak, not good.
It does.
3080 Ti sounds great.
It does. And it's like I'm sorry. You know, I know this is going to be one of those things where there's going to be someone on Twitter who goes, "Linus's arrogance on full display again. Imagine telling a company that they're wrong about the name of their product." But you got to understand, Ti is not a thing that NVIDIA invented. They did not create the periodic table of the elements. They named their titanium card how long ago was that? 20 years ago. They had the first TI suffix card or something like that. I can't remember exactly how long ago it was. It was about that though. And it was clearly titanium. So why the retcon? I don't get it. You can't just change the story. So I'm angry. And that's all I have to say about that.
I love how the majority of they didn't really talk about this graphics card topic was just being angry about the pronunciation of Ti.
Well, it's just unnecessary, you know? Why?
I will point out that they always want it called Ti, but I will never consistently call it Ti.
They do not always want it called Ti. That is a new thing. When they launched 560 Ti,
yeah,
it was not Ti.
Was it really?
No.
Do you have an actual clip of them saying Ti for that launch?
Oh, lots of.
That would be very interesting.
More than half the people I know at NVIDIA call it Ti.
Yeah.
If you're just on a conference call with them.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, almost everyone I've ever talked to at NVIDIA.
Everyone I know at NVIDIA says Ti.
They say Ti because it obviously is.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. I wonder if this is a weird thing where it's actually where it's some kind of trademark battle. And they just can't publicly acknowledge it. I know AMD, I can't remember what product it was, but they had a super cool name for a product. And they ended up getting into some kind of dispute with a football team over it because the football team had trademarked this term in digital media, in the digital media space, and technically gaming was kind of under the umbrella of digital media. So even though the odds of this football team ever having any kind of conflicting product that could actually be confused for, I don't even remember if it was a GPU or CPU, to be honest with you, but the odds of them ever having a conflicting product that could be confused is functionally zero.
Yeah.
But in order to avoid any kind of future dispute over it, they ended up going with a completely different, stupider name for it. And so what I actually kind of wonder is it could be is if it's an issue. Someone's suggesting that it could be an issue with Texas Instruments. Does anyone call them TI?
TI-83?
Yeah, maybe that's the issue.
People definitely abbreviate that as TI for sure. Like TI-83, TI-84 Plus. I think they've pretty much always, and I think literally in the product name at the top of the calculator it says TI, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yep.
So in the product name it has TI. That's pretty interesting.
So it could be. So then, okay, fine. Maybe I acknowledge that this is something maybe Nvidia has to do. I mean, they also just don't have to have TI in the product names at all. They have lots of suffixes. They've used Ultra. You know what I'd love to see them return to? Okay, you know how GTX went from being a suffix to being a prefix? And then it was superseded by RTX? Okay, hear me out. The RTX 3090 GTX.
just hug it.
I mean, if they're just gonna make up the rules as they go along anyway, then who cares? Just throw out the rule book.
I would have. This doesn't matter at all. I wish they kept GTX in the front and made RTX just an R at the end.
RTX just an R. Wait,
Yeah.
GTX
3080R. Sounds cool. Make the R red. Yeah.
Make it red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think red
Yeah.
ain't happening at Nvidia anytime soon, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. That's probably fun.
You know, that's the oh man, we're gonna have to talk about the stuff that launched at CES at some point. But that kind of made me think, how many people remember? Okay, you know how in the tech space you got Team Blue. Who's Team Blue?
Intel.
Okay, who's Team Green?
Nvidia.
Okay, who's Team Red?
AMD.
Okay, how many people remember that AMD used to be green?
Yeah.
Like, is it just me, or is the color red the most important thing they got out of the ATI acquisition?
I think it kind of is because the old AMD logo was green and black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially the same as Nvidia, but everyone calls them Team Red, which is great.
Yeah, I love that. Just like speaking of retcons, right? It's like no, we're Team Red. We were red all along. Don't worry about that. I just get a kick out of it. Okay, we got to talk about some other Nvidia stuff.
This is insane.
The wisdom of launching an RTX 3090 Ti with a GA102 is sort of questionable, considering the same GPU die is being used for the already unobtainium RTX 3080 Ti, and 3090.
Which is probably a big part of the reason why they kind of glossed over it at the presentation.
Yeah,
it's
that's
probably
fair
gonna
enough.
Be a nothing burger.
Even if they have additional fab capacity lined up, people probably won't be happy because I don't think there just is any. The RTX 3050, on the other hand, is a much easier sell, with the only question being, where was the RTX 3050 6 months ago? It'll have 8 gigs of GDDR6 memory, 9 shader teraflops, blah, 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 tensor, something. Where's the CUDA core count? Okay, I don't see it here. But it's geared towards GTX 1050 owners and really anyone looking for 60 FPS, 1080p gameplay. You won't be able to run this card with RTX on, or sorry, you won't want to run this card with RTX on, since it's already a struggle on existing low-end cards, and NVIDIA admits that it will require DLSS to reach 60 FPS at 1080p. But I am excited to see anything that is actually at an affordable price point, because as soon as people have something that they can buy for $250 theoretically, okay, MSRP $249, January 27th availability.
There's a just to interrupt you for a second. There's a
What?
super chat that I wanna go through right now. It says, and I'm quoting this perfectly. Oh my God, Linus is showing his arrogance once again, trying to tell NVIDIA how their product name is pronounced. Honestly.
I don't make the rules, okay? That's how it's pronounced.
Sorry, you can keep going.
No one ever pronounced an element by just saying it like that,
The
okay?
first 2 letters of the word.
Yeah, exactly. No one ever called chlorine cl. Okay? Nobody ever called bromine bruh.
bruh.
Okay?
They should pronounce bromine, bruh.
Aluminum is not al.
Oh,
Okay?
oh.
Zinc. Zzn. Can we stop? I swear I'm done. I'm done talking about it. So 3050, as soon as you can buy something modern, okay, for $250, that basically invalidates anything under, $150 for older, obsolete GPUs. As soon as those start to come down in price, it's a waterfall effect. And that's what's really frustrating about all of this is Nvidia and AMD know that they could have delivered these lower end GPUs earlier if they had really wanted to. And they had justification to not do so because they couldn't make enough of the higher margin ones anyway. So why would they introduce new products? But that didn't stop them from introducing new products. And if we're from a gamer perspective, gamers don't necessarily need the highest possible density. They don't need higher performance density. That's something that benefits miners, for whom there is an actual cost per slot. And they want that sweet spot of power to however many hashes per second it'll run to populate a slot with. So producing low-end cards is actually beneficial primarily for gamers who only need one card to occupy one slot. So if you can take a silicon wafer and you can slice it up into more pieces, the odds that they will end up in the hands of gamers become greater. So, I'm frustrated it didn't happen earlier, but here it is now. I don't know who we have to thank for this. Did AMD pull the trigger first, causing Nvidia to be like, we should probably do this? Is it pressure from Intel that is causing both AMD and Nvidia to sit up and pay attention? I don't know, but thank you very much, Nvidia, for finally doing what we all needed you to do a long time ago. And I look forward to doing some budget builds for a change.
Yes.
It's been a long time since we've been able to fire up a stream, just be like, hey, let's build a practical gaming rig that makes any sense at a price that is palatable. I'm jazzed. I hope it actually freaking happens.
Me too.